I mean, I have no idea. My feeling with it is like, you know, if you look throughout history at the people who make a ripple in history for the better, Martin Luther King, Gandhi, John Lennon, what do they all have in common?
I don't know.
They all got assassinated. They all got fucking shot. So, Jesus, let's throw Jesus in there, right? So my feeling would be like Tupac. Anybody who was making big ripples and telling the truth in a really beautiful way, inevitably gets offed, right? And so what you're seeing there is a brilliant person who has contacted truth with a good heart, who wants the world to be better, and actively pursues that goal successfully to the point where they rise into the mainstream and things do begin to change a little bit because of them. And then look what happens. Some fucking asshole shoots them. And so my guess would be that if there is like a continuum of intelligence, and if you don't think there's a continuum of intelligence, you're fooling yourself, man. Some people are really smart. I've been around them. And some people are, very distracted, to put it nicely. And so I would imagine that the very smart people scanning the world and looking at what happens when you overtly try to change the world, they're like, I don't want to get fucking shot. I love the world, but is it so effective to enter the world and start telling the truth if 9 times out of 10 you get blasted before you finish the job? So, do they control everything? I don't know. But I would guess that because in nature, camouflage, the ability to camouflage is such an important trait
Right.
when it comes to evolution, when it comes to surviving, that I would imagine that there were probably some highly intelligent people who were more than likely connected via some kind of, I don't know what, some system.
No conspiracy theory here. Do you think like Joplin, Hendrix, and Jim Morrison's deaths were connected in any way? If you had to make a hypothesis, like if you read documents the days leading up to it or something.
Yeah, man, I don't even know why that's fucking surprising to people. Look at Caesar. Look what happened to him. Stabbed to death. Look like powerful people are often murdered throughout history. I don't know why suddenly people think that it's like beyond the pale that folks who had any kind of charisma that seemed to be working against whatever the particular system was, or whoever was in power at the time. I mean, look at fucking Nixon. I don't know if Nixon was president when they died, by the way. I'm not sure exactly. But look at what he created, the sorrow that fucking asshole harvested in his sick prohibition of psychedelics. Not because he thought psychedelics were bad, but because he didn't like hippies and he didn't like black people. And he wanted to figure out a way to arrest them, He wanted to figure out a way to get into these like growing communities and like arrest them. And you can't arrest people for ideas. So you need some bullshit reason to do it. So it's like, oh, what do they all have in common? They're smoking weed. They're getting high. They're and also not only that, but they're smoking weed and they're getting high and they're getting information from it. And even worse, the information they're getting, they're turning it into art. And then art is changing society in a way that doesn't work if you're trying to run a fucking military industrial complex, right? And so if you're running a military industrial complex, your job is killing people. So it doesn't seem beyond the pale that if you were a threat to a like massive global organization that makes money from exploding people, they would fucking kill you if they found you to be a threat. It doesn't seem that weird. It's like, now, is that what happened? I don't know. But I wouldn't if I heard it, I wouldn't be like, are you kidding me? That's crazy. It kind of makes sense. Did it happen? I don't know. But Robert Anton Wilson, to get back to your question, he recommends agnosticism, which is let yourself think these things if you want to. Use your mind to contemplate and think about it, but don't believe it all the way. Because once you do that, that's a slippery slope, man. And that leads to a lot of embarrassment. Just ponder it. We're allowed to speculate and look at the world and look at patterns. for fun too. It's just fun. I don't know. Were they assassinated? Maybe. I could see why. If I was running a military, a massive organization, and suddenly some like charismatic hippie was flopping around making beautiful fucking music that was making people not want to go to work anymore and making war seem bad, you know, I don't know. If I was evil, I might do a code tarantula or whatever the fuck they call it.
How do you have all this shit in your head? That's what I want to know.
I don't know. I love thinking about it. It's fun.
Grab another water there.
Thanks,
the
man.
There.
It's a joy to think about, you know?
Before we started the podcast, you were talking about India and how these Indians, and, you know, one thing that I've always, you know, Rogan's not as spiritual as we are, I don't think. I think Ari, you and I are very spiritual.
Yeah.
We're very aware of our surroundings. When I had Bobby Lee in here, we spoke about it. What did you feel at the store all those years? Not to harp on the Comedy Store guys. I just wanted you to hear it from the talent coordinator.
Sure.
We were talking about energies and entities before, and break down the energies and the ghosts that you felt at the store and your ghost sighting if you have one.
Sure, man. Yeah, sure. Yeah, so it's like a thick energy. You know, it's like you know how you can, like, for people, like, it seems crazy when you start talking about this shit, like clairvoyance or, like, you know, what they used to call it being sensitive, you know, in the sense of, like, you know, they wouldn't call it even psychic. They would call it sensitive. So the way to understand it, if you've never, like, felt a haunted place, though I think most people have, is just think of the difference between hot and cold. Or think like when you walk into, like, a super hot place. Like when you walk into a spa, that feeling. You hit a wall of heat. It's like a very specific feeling. It's a dense energy in there. So, like, the next time you're in a very hot place like that, feel it. That energy, the shift, the way that it feels weird. It's a different feeling in there. The air feels different. It is different, I'm sure, because of the heat. So similarly, if you use that exact same sense when you go into certain places, every once in a while, it's like you walked into a fog, but there's nothing there. But you can feel it. It's dense. The energy's thick, coiled up. It's thick. So the Comedy Store is like that. It's the energy is, certain places have tendencies. That's a good way to put it. You know, just like certain people have tendencies, certain places have tendencies, you know, repeating patterns. So one of the tendencies of the Comedy Store is it tends to create really great fucking comics. That's one of its tendencies. You know, it gives birth, spits out these comedians every once in a while that, like, become very successful. And
we're going in like fucking Marines, you understand me?
Welcome to church, motherfucker.